wanted to share with you how gorgeous this is. What a gorgeous place this is. Look at these cows enjoying this beautiful day. Beautiful. Hey, so I just thought I'd have another little chat about raising the vibe. I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to call this YouTube site. Maybe I'll call it Awakening Hilarities, or maybe I'll call it Awakening to Joy, or that sounds a little bit preachy. Or maybe I will call it, I just thought of another one, now I've forgotten it. That's part of it, right? It's part of the problem. It's part of the Ascension problem. Memory loss. Okay, it's because your brain seems to be kind of living on a bit of a higher plane. It kind of shifts from being very 3D, 5D they call it, I don't quite know how a scientist would explain this. I really just think it's about consciousness. It's about moving from a place of between like the lower levels of consciousness, like I said, shame and guilt and fear and grief and apathy, and into a place of like desire, thinking about, well, what is it I want? And moving forward into courage and actually taking some steps to move you forward into a place that is a little bit more powerful, such as a place of willingness. Yeah, actually, do you know what? I do want that, and I'm going to go out and get it. And then into, a place of acceptance. What I haven't got it at the moment, but you know what? I'm accepting everything that is. I'm accepting all my emotions. I'm accepting this exactly how I am right now. Everything that comes up, everything that I perceive to be a problem, I'm just accepting that, and I'm going to transmute that, and I'm just going to turn it into something else a little bit more powerful. For example, this morning I felt really good. I was having a really, energy was high. There was no blockages, no shadows in the way. And then I went on Facebook. Love-hate relationship. No, I don't have a hate relationship. Do you know what? I don't hate anything. That's the honest truth. Even my relationship ex, I've never hated him, ever. I don't want to talk about that particularly, but we were married for 25 years, and then we went our separate ways, and I loved him through it, even though things became difficult. And I can talk about that at a later date. Obviously, no disrespect to him, but just in a way of helping people get through that without getting hateful. because vengeance, there's no need for it. There's no need for hate. There's no need for vengeance. There's a need for understanding, and there's a need for acceptance, and there's a need for forgiveness to help ourselves move forward and walk away. So yeah, I will go into that, but really we're talking about raising ourselves in our vibration from the level of desire into the level of joy, peace and love. And with the level of joy, peace and love, we can see it with compassion, with forgiveness, with trust, with patience, with joy, and we can embrace all that is, okay? So I'm just briefly going to say, how do we know we're in those states? Because sometimes you feel really good and then you feel really bad and you're not sure why. So it's a good idea to question, well, why has that changed? What came up? What was it that triggered that change? So was it something that you were looking at on Facebook, for example? For me today, it was somebody that I was watching, and I know this person, and I just think, man, I could do that so much better. You know what I mean? It's jealousy. I never normally get jealous, but hey, it came up. So I mean, normally I'm like really appreciative of people think, oh my God, you've done really well. But this particular person, and we all have it, and we have to recognize it, and we have to acknowledge it, we have to accept it, we have to know that it's within us, but know what it's telling us. It's telling us that is my passion and purpose, and I want that. I want what you've got. Now, jealousy is not a very great emotion because, but what it does point out is that you have a burning desire. And when you've had a burning desire for like 10 years to do something, and it gets so to the point where you just feel like you're 10 months pregnant with this thing, and somebody else is doing it, how are you going to feel? It's just natural. Every emotion we feel is natural. None of them should be, as my great dear mentor Crystal Andra says, locked in the basement, because they are all there for a reason. They're all messages. They're telling you something. So let's listen to what they're saying. Okay, so what did I see? I saw that saying that, and what did that make me feel? Oh, that made me feel a little bit like angry because I have not done it myself, because it's within me. It's not him. He's not the problem. It's me. Like, what is it within me that causes me to feel like that? Yeah, it's anger. I'm like angering on myself. But hey, just let that, I'm okay, I'm accepting that. Yes, I'm not moving as fast as I feel I should be, but don't should on yourself, because everything is happening in perfect timing and things will unfold. So trust that. And then I start to level out and I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's his journey. This is my journey. And all I can do is honour my journey and share my journey, because I know that there's lots and lots of people that feel the same way. And I know that I have different qualities and different things to offer. And the more of us, the merrier, let's face it. And the other thing is, there's enough people out there who will be waking up, who need people to be inspiring, enlightened influencers, okay? And that's what the world needs. And there's a lot of people in the world. So as many people as possible, get on and, start inspiring in any ways you can. Not just by doing YouTube uploads, but by doing actual things, like people who work in hospitals, for example. As you know, I'm a nurse, and I also do swimming teaching, personal training, and I'm a coach. Okay, so lots of different things in my job. When I worked in those businesses, when I worked doing those things, I was lit up. I was being an inspiring, enlightened influencer, doing those jobs. I was spreading love and light. We don't have to be on YouTube telling people what to do. That's not, there's loads of people, there's teachers, firemen, police people doing service everywhere, voluntary workers, everybody who is doing service, people who aren't even working, people who are just bumbling around the community. As long as you're spreading love and light, as long as, especially people who are bringing up children, as long as you're doing the right thing, as in staying above and higher than the emotion of desire, instead of thinking about, what do I want? I'm angry because I can't have it. I'm going to go out and buy something else to make me feel better. As long as we resonate and lift our emotions to that place of pure, true love for ourselves and for each other, then we're going to be spreading love and light. So there's lots of different ways of doing it. And my point was, we need to recognize where we are on that emotional scale. We need to listen to ourselves, not block it. So when it comes up, don't just go, now I'm in a bad mood, and go off and take it out on someone else, or drink a bottle of wine, or eat a big pizza, or sit and watch some shit TV, or, because these are just medicating the problem away. Taking drugs and alcohol are obviously pretty extreme things because you're also damaging the body. Some people do positive things like exercise, which raises your endorphin levels, which is great. But if you get addicted to it, it's not so great. If an addiction is anything that you do not have power over, it has power over you. So just consider the idea that when we are not high vibing, when we're not feeling like our truest self, when we're not feeling like we're in our power, steaming through life, having a laugh and enjoying ourselves, then there's something there that just requires a little bit of attention. There's just a message there that we need to listen to and deal with. And on this ascension process, you'll find those messages come in hard and they come in fast. And they will be linked to other things from our past, and not necessarily ours either, I have found. So one day, for example, I had a perfectly brilliant day and a night before, and then that morning I had this massive loads of fear come up for no reason. It wasn't mine, it wasn't anything to do with me. So I went into it. Where is it in my body? And you can go into these healing modalities. I will probably write something about this, or blog about it, or do a YouTube thing on it or something. But if you look at any kind of shadow work, maybe that Louise Hay has developed, or there's many people who have done work on shadow self. Okay, so basically go into it, think about where it sits in your body, think about the colour, think about the texture, think about how heavy it is, think about why it's there, how long has it been there. You ask it questions. How long have you been there? Where did you come from? Who do you belong to? And why are you there? And what is this related to? And over a period of time, in a deep state of meditation, obviously, just get yourself into a state where you're deep breathing and calm yourself down, close your eyes, get into a quiet space. I probably should have said that before, but I presume because we're in the ascension process and the awakening process, you would know by now that's what we do. But if you don't, that's fine. That's fine. Do a little bit more research on that. Because that's the only way we uncover those the darkness, the shadows within ourselves, that as light workers we now have to transmute for not just ourselves but other people, and the collective. So great, this is a great gift that we have to give to humanity, that we can actually take on pain and we can breathe into it and we can ask where it's coming from. We can heal the wounds of the past, like previous generations and previous lifetimes, and we can heal those wounds by retelling the story and allowing God or Source to enter us in that period of time, in that story, and allowing us to feel strong and powerful in that moment. And then you come out of the meditation and you feel like it's gone. It has gone. And you don't need drugs, you don't need alcohol, you don't need TV, you don't need to shout at somebody else, you don't need any form of addiction or external influence to take that pain away. You literally heal it. And until you get to the point where you can just breathe into something, acknowledge it, accept it, and ask what it's doing there and what it needs, it's not going to go away. It's just going to get louder and louder and louder until you take notice of it. All right. So that was the point of this. It's just a little bit to talk about mood going up and down. But people say, oh, she's very moody or whatever. But it just means you're extra sensitive. You're sensitive to energies. You're sensitive to your own feelings, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because it's better than being dumbed down by authority, controlled like a robot. We're not robots, we're people, and emotions are there to tell us things. And when we start uncovering, unblocking our emotions, they do for a little while go a little bit like, woo, up and down, and we need to come into balance. And like I said, there are tools that we can use to bring ourselves into balance. And also to get help and support and watch things for inspiration, to know that it's okay, it's not you, you're not crazy, you're not mad, you don't need tablets, you just need to listen to yourself, go into yourself, take some time, breathe, everything's going to be okay, all right? You're not alone. There's plenty of people going through the same thing you are. So don't forget to love yourself, because I love you and you love you, Love and light. Hi, so it's a beautiful evening, the sun's just going down, and I just wanted to share some joy because this is a fantastic place to be out here in the countryside, as I try and get out into the countryside every day. When we call it the countryside, doesn't that seem strange? It's like saying, oh yes, let's take a visit to the countryside. Oh yes, like the countryside is over there and we live here in the real world, and then we're going to visit the countryside. I don't know. I always grew up in the countryside. I grew up on the land amongst lots and lots of greenness. I'm lucky. I'm very grateful for that. But I guess some people have the perspective that all they see is grey concrete, and that actually on a holiday once a year they might get to go and visit a farm. And I'm not saying that's wrong or right, there's no judgment here. I'm just saying that we have to remember we all look at different lenses, we all have different perspectives of things, about things. We all see the world very differently, and part of this whole ascension process and awakening process is not only to try and raise our vibration, because that's what my channel's all about, trying to raise the vibration to joy, peace and love, and look at the humour and the hilarity in things, but also to remember and understand and accept that we're not all the same. We all have completely different perspectives about things. The reason I just wanted to come on here today was to say how grateful I am for this beautiful day, and how grateful I am to be able to share this experience, the experience of having, going through this process, and being able to share the ups and downs and of, not only my own emotions, but the energies, and also your experiences. So I just wanted to share this beautiful day with you and ask if there are any experiences that you've had that you've suddenly thought in a philosophical way, I've never thought of that before, because part of the awakening is to literally awaken the mind to, oh, that's why they call it such and such. You know what I mean? It's like these little aha moments going off, and obviously I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now, so we're always learning. But if you have any aha moments that you want to share, or you have any funny experiences that you want to share, go to my Facebook page. It's written down below. When I'm doing this right now, I still haven't figured out what I'm going to call it. But do join in the fun, and let's share our experiences, let's share our moments of like, oh, that's why, because often we haven't got people around us in our close circle of friends or family who know what we're talking about. Or maybe they'll go, oh yeah, oh, she's going off on one again. Or, it depends. Many of us are live in circumstances and families and friendship circles that are probably not the most healthy, and we're trying to sort of figure out how we're going to get out of that. And I know that's something I had to do, and I spend most of the time quite happily just going around as a singular person, moving into different groups here and there and everywhere. And I was thinking about that this morning, how much more independent I have been over the last 3 years. I've just completely detached from all attachments, like nothing. I literally go to groups, I join in, I give it my everything, and then I leave. And if I needed to commit to something like a drama group or something, then yes, I would commit. But it's not the same as having close-knit attachments that you sort of you create some kind of secure bond with, and that you need, because it's like literally I can just walk away. But that's my experience. We all have different experiences. I think when you do get to the point where you're feeling pretty independent, you can just go around doing your own thing and you're not attached to anything, is that you get to that point where you feel actually you're pretty powerful, because you're not externally validated by anything or anyone anymore. The only person that validates you is you and God, the source energy around us. And that's a pretty great place to be, because you can be yourself, fully express yourself, and not give a shit about what anybody else thinks. Obviously, I don't do any damage to anyone intentionally ever. I try and live my life in peace and love and joy and high vibing, because it's good for me. I love high vibing. So this YouTube channel is about being high vibe, getting out to the country, listening to the birds, and just being with the water and with the ground and with the earth, and being with fire, and in the wind and the rain, and just really feeling the elements and feeling the emotions inside, and just loving it all, loving the experience and accepting and embracing it all, because it's just life, you know? It's life. This is life. Your life is your life. Have a look at it today and love the good bits and leave the rest, because, you know, let's just focus on the good stuff. Oh, here they come. Oh, they're coming over. I love the way they swim. Beautiful swans. Run away, run away. I'm going to leave her alone because she's obviously a little bit distressed. She wants to go the other way, but she's worried about me being here. Oh, look at these cute little ducks. See, this mama duck, she knows I'm here. And she was just protecting her little babies. Look, she's going to take them across the river. She's worried. She's got 9 little babies. 9. Imagine having 9 children. Hee hee, look at them all. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is there one missing? There was 9 a minute ago. Oh. Oh dear. Cute. Very cute.
beings and we treat them like how we do. It's so sad.
Yeah, they are. it's evening here. And look, we have a pink sky. A pink sky. Birds are so sweet. Yeah, that's not a bird, that's a smudge on the window. That's a really bright rainbow. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. It's fading now. I am freezing.